It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, yo. My ego don't come, yo. Politico, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, yo. My ego don't come, yo. My ego die the politico, yo. My ego don't come, yo. This one not they off in mind, yo. My ego don't come, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, yo. My egun don't come, yo.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Take your time, read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is live. Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary political. Godfatherism.
Tinubu's regime is honoring the slain soldiers in Okuama in Delta State. Today, the investigation on what happened, who are those behind, they are still ongoing. But today, Tinubu's regime decided to honor them, even in death, their families and others, and other statements made too. So we will be part of that this evening, briefly.
And yes, you like only you too.
No, normally the background sound, which is this song, usually it is not very smooth. So now I'm putting it in the medium, okay? And I want to see if there is any improvement because we are starting in a minute. Thank you, thank you. That is not the only thing we are talking about tonight, or we will be talking about tonight. And that is why read the caption, read the description as well. I've got a few interesting stuff for you too. Share the broadcast. Now that is it. Motide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from again in the Temple of Truth this moment. Thank you so much as well for joining us, just like opting for the opting third time. The Okuama slain soldiers, the 16 of them, including a lieutenant colonel, 2 major generals or majors, maybe not general, but major, 2 major, as well as 13 other officers who were reportedly slain initially by the youth of Okuama in Delta State. Or events that followed the announcement have shown that there's actually more to what led to that tragedy. But as a national tragedy, the Nigerian army chose today to bury the 16 soldiers, and it was also an opportunity for Tinubu as well, right, to make a speech. This time it is not the usual bulaba kind of. There's a prepared speech for him that he read at the occasion, right? But there is more. But what we're going to do tonight as a show of respect to some of these soldiers, like us, I don't know, I don't want to press your or trigger your anger button early in this program, okay? However, we are going to go to the venue and bring to you what happened today and who said what and when. So at first, they brought the bodies to the venue. The place was kind of prepared ahead of the event, and it looked exactly like this.
There's songs of sweet praise back from heaven's shore, and I can feel at home in this world.
Okay, now that flower.
I ask a beggar along the way.
You get that? Somebody said there's 17 soldiers. So are they 17 now? Well, I'm still working with their own publicly available data. If the tally has increased, thank you for bringing that to our notice. So at the burial today, as usual, politicians will take advantage of, to show their own eye services when they are mostly behind their bunkering. The bunkering, which is the stealing of Nigeria crude oil, something that the politicians and their armed, people are indeed behind. So yeah, soldiers have been killed, and this is a tragedy. So they started arriving. First, I think it was at the governors.
Yes, indeed.
This plate number.
So Nigeria National Cemetery, that was the venue. Okay. Then I think Kolu also arrived afterward.
Sorry, sir.
So after that, it was the turn of all of the generals, your Nigeria service chiefs, who are major generals without fighting any war. For real, like, you get what I mean? It's promotion, kind of. So they all spoke, they all bragged, they expressed their anger, their rage, mostly about against the people that killed their colleagues. But it was, they were promising that they would get everyone. Currently, by the way, just so you know, while this is going on and other things going on across the place now, the people of Okuama and so many other communities in their axis, they have been cut off from the rest of Nigeria. Those who survived the military or the army genocide and massacre that took place in the axis, those who were killed and those who survived, all of them are trapped in that place now. Bodies of those they killed, some of them have been dumped in the water. They have been dumped in the water, and they ensure that nobody will have access to those areas yet. If they open the place up, maybe after this burial, they can let the survivors or people have access to them, provide medicals, food, water, and all that should be provided. And it's been, how many days now? It's been over 10 days, 12 days to be precise, since this siege started, where the civilians were blamed for the brutal killings of these 17 soldiers. I just wanted to remember that, okay? While we are watching this, remember that people are still trapped in those areas and no access is given. But let's go back to that place, okay? So it was only Kolu who now came with an offer. He didn't only promise to find their killers so that they can actually have justice. He promised to give, he gave scholarship to the children of the soldiers. The families were offered or given landed properties like houses, and they were also given money. So I'm going to take you back there, all right, so that we can have that as well on record.
Family, friends, and associates of our deceased heroes, invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is with heavy heart that I join you today to commend to us the remains of our officers and men who died in the course of duty on 14th of March this year, 2024, in Okuama community in Delta State. The officers and soldiers who lost their lives that day were patriots, brave, and noble men who gave their lives to defend and protect our nation against internal and external threats. Their sacrifice will be remembered and honored for generations to come. On March 14th, Lieutenant Colonel A.H. Ali, the commanding officer of 181 Amphibious Battalion, led 3 other officers and 13 soldiers to Okuama community to mediate in lingering disputes with Okoloba community. They went on as peacekeepers and peacemakers, respectively, seeking to bring an end to the hostility between the two communities. They didn't go with tanks, machine guns, and other weapons. They were on a mission of peace. Before the dastardly attack, Lieutenant Colonel Ali, as I was known to be briefed by the Chief of Army Staff, enjoyed great operational exploits, fighting terrorists and insurgents in the northeast and northwest before his deployment to the Niger Delta. Ali kept faith with his military calling till the end. On behalf of a grateful nation, we honor the sacrifice of Ali and the other gallant patriots who died that day. They will forever be remembered as heroes who answered the call of duty and paid the ultimate price. Major D.E. Obi, Major S.D. Ashafa, Captain U. Sakari, Staff Sergeant Yaya Seidu, Corporal Dambaba Yaya, Corporal Kabir Bashir, Lance Corporal Abdullah Ibrahim, Lance Corporal Bulus Aruna, Lance Corporal Sole Okpayemi, Lance Corporal Bello Anas, Private Alhaji Isa, Private Clement Francis, Private Abubakar Ali, Private Adamu Ibrahim, Private Haman Picha, and Private Ibrahim Adamu. You are all our heroes. Each man now belongs to the hallowed list of servicemen and women who defended our country and protected their fellow Nigerians, not minding the risk to their own lives. They have all been awarded now a posthumous national honor. The 4 gallant officers have been accorded the award of members of the Order of Niger, MON. The 13 courageous soldiers who also lost their lives have been awarded the Officers of the Federal Republic Medal. I commiserate with the families of our fallen heroes and the entire armed forces. I share in their pain and grief, the grief you carry today.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
Olu Kolu is reading a script written by Gbajabiamole, and is telling lies right there. And this is not going to help the families. That is not how for families to have closure. If you see families of British soldier who died in combat, when their family will know how they died and everything, like in plain sight, they will get to know. Some of the information may be classified, so you get now that the families can't talk about them, but they will know what killed their family member. Give me 1 second. I want to sneeze.
What shall I say unto the Lord? Yes, Lord. All I have to say, thank you, Lord.
Thank you. You will know what killed your papa, but these families in Nigeria, they will never know the truth. But the lie is being told and repeated again and again. So Tinubu is telling the whole world that the conflict between Okoloba and Okuama people, that the conflict is what these soldiers went to go and settle. But there was nobody from Okoloba in that Okuama for peace meeting. He said they didn't go with tanks. They didn't go with guns. Another misinformed idiot that you call press idiot. They couldn't take tanks, so they took gunboats. We have videos. When they attack the communities, when they kill the people there, we have the videos. All of them were, when they were killing them, the soldiers, Nigerian army, were making videos. And they are yet to share with us either the pile of arms or the group of people that really killed these soldiers. Nothing. In the process, 24 hours after they told us youth killed 17 soldiers, including Lieutenant Colonel and 2 generals, they went straight to Baramatu, what is that? Baramatoru or something. That's another community in somebody said it's actually between Bayelsa and Delta too, right? Something Baramatoru. They went there. They killed over 80 people, just civilians on the road. The old pictures and videos are online if you want to see them. So Kolu said oh my goodness. Anyway, so he's honored them with MON, members of the Order of the Niger. Here you get. So posthumously means when you mention those the colonel and those soldiers, you have to add MON. I don't know if that comes with a cash prize. I don't know. But he has more that he gave to them too. Houses, scholarship, land, money. All of these were written by Gbajabiamole.
It is my prayer that God will comfort all who are bereaved as a result of this tragedy. It is worth restating the depth of gratitude we hold these valiant soldiers and families. As Commander-in-Chief, I do not take the contribution of members of our armed forces for granted. I recognize your valor and bravery. I honor your unflinching commitment to making our country safe from criminals, bandits, kidnappers, and insurrectionists. While we continue to grieve for the courageous men we lost that day, let us also, on this solemn occasion, be reminded of the unfinished business of working for peace and harmony in our communities. We must begin to rebuild our communities and make them into places where love, tolerance, harmony will reign. Leaders at all levels, especially community leaders and traditional rulers, must work to strengthen the bonds that unite us. We must end the cycle of violence and bloodletting. I want to make it clear once more that those who committed this heinous crime will not go unpunished. We find them, and our departed heroes will get justice. The elders and chiefs of Okuama also have a duty to help the military in fishing out the gunmen who committed the barbaric crime against our men. I wish also to commend our armed forces for their restraint in choosing not to carry out a reprisal attack in Okuama or its neighboring communities. We must all ensure that the innocent people of the communities are not made to bear the punishment of the guilt and wicked among them. To the entire armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I have this message for you. Do not let the death of your compatriots discourage you. There is no higher honor than the vocation you have chosen to pursue. We cherish you, we cherish your labor and labor of love. We salute your daily sacrifice in protecting your fellow citizens from danger. We have acknowledged your sacrifices to defend our country. Within our continent, our sub-region and across the world, the Nigerian military has remained a force for good, embodying a great example and keeping our democracy safe. It is now our duty to protect the families of our departed heroes. The federal government will provide housing in any part of our country to each of the families of the 4 officers and 13 soldiers that were among them. The federal government has also approved scholarship to all children of the deceased up to university level. Including those who are in the war.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
So yeah, that was where Kolu was promising what they will give to them apart from the national honor. They will build houses for the families of the slain soldiers in any part of Nigeria where they want. He said in that speech that innocent people should not be made to pay for the crime of few among them. But I don't know if they probably told him that want to find let it go. If all the numbers flying around so far is anything to really go by, or so as a plus or minus on this issue, more than 200 people have been killed in Okuama and the extended areas where the issue of this bunkering that is being kind of bunkering operation run by the same military, by the same Navy and the rest of them. So yeah, I don't know if they told Kolu that, Ezra, you didn't talk early. When you said you gave us a full authority to go ahead and do anything. We don't burn houses, burn properties, burn people inside houses. Like right now, they had to cover the entire place because it's a crime scene. It's unfortunate, right? This is the type of terrorism that people have been subjected to, and it is turn by turn. Turn by turn Nigeria Limited, yeah? So after all of that, it was time to bury the soldiers. At least this one's sort of, this one is better. You have no idea of how many families across Nigeria right now whose loved ones, husbands, sons have already been killed by the terrorists in northern Nigeria. And their families still believe that they are working, they are serving, and they have not heard from them. To the point that there are those who have never heard from their family, from their relative, serving in the front line, they call it, facing and fighting the Boko Haram and all of that for 2 years. No joke. So they found these ones and they give them befitting burial, and they will go after the people that killed them. That is if they go after the people that killed them. Well, let's go to that part of northern Nigeria again, because here, for those, while we mourn, or while we kind of send condolences to the Nigerian army and the loss of their gallant soldiers, and hope that their killers are found and they are made to face justice, and their families, the families they left behind, are not only fed lies, they are indeed told the truth so that they can have a proper closure that it is Nigeria that killed their sons. For the record, okay? So yeah, to have a closure. So while we kind of mourn with them, we hope that these individuals who were taken from Zamfara and they ended up in Lafia in Nasarawa, and they have been resold. You may not understand Hausa, I don't too, but there are those who do. Inside that comment, please let me interpret this if you can understand what he's saying, but I do know what he's saying. I'll come back and tell you, or what they are saying. They are victims, they are kidnapped victims, and they are being moved from one place to another until their family will pay the ransom. Here is one of the videos they made, just for your view.
Mu ko muna neman kamfani da ta kawo mu nan da muke aiki da ita. Ta taimaka ta samu ta yi magana da ku abin da za a bayar na fansa, a bayar a karɓe mu samu mu koma gurin iyalanmu.
Okay.
Speak with English. Explain to where they take you, what you come do for Zamfara. You understand? And make the message reach management. You understand? You did camera.
My name is Godfrey Adewale. We started this work from Kaduna Road. When we finished Kaduna Road, we traveled to Saminaka. So the Saminaka, the money never ready. They bring us to Zamfara here. So it's Tetraco. So this is the third place on the trap house now.
Talk.
I'm a Bolondro today. I'm a surveyor in Sakaku. So we died yesterday that we slept yesterday overnight. We woke up yesterday
Yi magana.
Wani ya faru da mu aiki ne kawo nan. Shi nan bala'i ta zo ta same mu. So muna roke kamfani mu a yi magana da su domin su yi kokari su karbe mu. Domin mu koma mu je mu dubi mutanen nan. Aikin nan ba wai mun zo aikin mu bane. Ita aikin kamfanin ne ta kawo mu.
Kira ga gwamnati.
Kira ga gwamnati.
Muna kira ma gwamnati ta taimaka kamar gwamnatin jihar Zamfara da federal government da ta ba ma kamfani aiki. Muna neman ta taimaka ta sasanta da mutanen nan a sai samu a.
So, thank you so much, Celia, for that. Because you've just helped us do some interpretation and all that. Let me say it now to everyone else who probably is wondering. Those guys, they were kidnapped. They were workers. So they are working for a company before they got kidnapped. And they were kidnapped somewhere around Zamfara. And so far, since the ransom is not ready, so they've been moved. So they've been walking from Zamfara through the forest and all that, okay, to the current location. And they said this is the third location they are moving them to. So they are now begging their employers to please pay the ransom so that they can go home to their families. Did you see all their faces? Did you see the beating? Did you see the swollen faces? Did you see that? Did he call himself Bolaji Johnson? That man. Did you see how he has already? I don't know how many days they have been on the road, but that's exactly what it is like when you are kidnapped in Nigeria by Fulani terrorists. And according to Kolu, when he met with the Nigerian Supreme Court judges or the judiciary last night, right? They broke fast together, Ramadan fast together. He said, every kidnapper should be treated and must be treated as a terrorist. So did you see that there? Those are the guys who will now collect ransom and go on TikTok, on Instagram. Terrorists that are present on social media because nobody is looking for them. They are terrorists. That's what Kolu said. I'll show you.
The situation is always panicky, too. Nobody wants arms or any danger on his or her backyard. And
I'm so sorry, I need to warn you, okay, for those who have seen the clip earlier, please, I don't want you to take whatever he says serious because he didn't really say much. But I want you to kind of pick the area where he said, anybody that is in, any kidnapper found is must be treated as a terrorist. That's the part. Just listen out to that one. The rest, if you want to go make tea, go make tea. It's not important.
the situation is always panicky, too. Nobody wants arms or any danger on his or her backyard. And no national leader will want to mortgage the future of their children. We are working hard. Yes, the bandits, just please uphold our resolve when we say kidnappers are terrorists and don't rule against us. That's the way we perceive them. That is the way we must treat them. And that is a fact that we are facing currently, unless we take very strong action against these people. They become cowardly. They have been degraded. They look for soft targets. They go to backyard of, local schools, kidnap children and create disaffection. We must treat them equally as terrorists in order to really get rid of them. And I promise you, we're going to get rid of them. For review or no review as chief law officer, still
Treat them as terrorists, Abi. We will get rid of them. Okay. Just for the, to their own credit, right? They do have a lot of group or different kind of terror group in northern part of Nigeria operating there. I'm talking about hundreds of groups that have thousands. I'm talking about tens to hundreds of thousands of fighters. So you may see one group that has like 200 fighters. You may see another group that just have just smaller group of, like lone hunters, like wolves, lone wolves. They were no more than maybe 50 or 40. All right. But you will see some with more than 1,000 members, like 1,000 size army. So it depends on how successful they have become, how much money they've amassed, and how much weapon they have access to. That will kind of build their army. So there's one of them called Dogo Gide. Now that Dogo Gide surfaced many times. This is a guy that I think he was even featured in a BBC documentary on this terrorist called bandits in Nigeria, where this image has been trending somehow because the Nigerian military said they have been mauling down some of these terrorists in the last few weeks. So they said this guy sustained injury. He's one of their notorious one, okay? So they say he sustained injury, gun injury to the chest, and later died, but they do not have his body. But he's been announced dead right now. And they've announced a few others too. And, to me, I'm just like, it is like that of a repentant terrorist scheme and scam. Operation Safe Corridor scam. Like if you kill one big leader of terror group, that means you have stabbed them in the middle of their heart, like right there in their heart, yeah? That should scatter the whole group. Because by then you can go after other smaller unit and other, right? Or if your government says terrorists have surrendered, okay, and you say, oh, that is great. That even saves a lot of work. How many are they? 280,000 repentant terrorists have surrendered. Are you serious? That should be the end of the whole terrorism then. There should not be anything terrorist anywhere anymore. If politicians and the military comes out and they say they have rehabilitated over 20,000 radicalized Islamic terrorists of Boko Haram in Nigeria, 25,000 is like almost. So that automatically should have reduced the terrorism by far. When America said they have defeated ISIS, I've been at Russia. You shall remember when they said, you remember when ISIS was like at the height, every day, everywhere, ISIS propaganda video here and there, and you're just like, oh, we're waiting the world they turn to like this, for God's sake. Has this world gone mad? You remember that time of ISIS, where they will go into monumental historical buildings, historical structures in Syria, in Iraq, in, destroy them, and they were spreading that time. But the moment they came, they said they have destroyed ISIS. And all of a sudden, what happened? Everything just died down and disappeared. The terrorists scattered, and they joined other terror groups that are everywhere to continue the battle. But you can no longer see any any standing ISIS authority anywhere in the Middle East. So it's only in Nigeria they will tell you terrorists surrendered. 225,000 radical terrorists, they have repented and they have been rehabilitated. They tell you that over 200,000 repentant terrorists and their family, they voluntarily walk from the forest and they surrender to government. But instead of the terrorism and the act of insecurity to reduce, Baba, escalate. So it is an industry. And somebody who rightly observed said, one of the reasons why Nigeria will remain poor and the rest of Nigeria will be carried along poor and poorer is because the criminals in northern Nigeria have devised means of how they are taking whatever it is going to be amount of resources they want from the treasury of Nigeria, and the rest of Nigeria would have to fund it. Do you know that? Yeah. The criminals in northern Nigeria, they are fast, they are swift when it comes to funding terrorists or placating terrorists. With the allocation they get from Abuja, they do not want to invest in their people. So that's not really important. So they ferry the money to the terrorists and their sponsor. Everybody takes their share every month, okay? So at the end of the day, they make the entire region unsafe. So unsafe that people have to leave. Now, people living means that other part of Nigeria would have to bear the cost of the insecurity in northern Nigeria. So now the insecurity there, the terrorism in northern Nigeria is now enveloping the entire Nigeria, further stretching and stretching and stretching the scarce resources. Resources we no fee even lift anybody out of poverty. Resources we no deal. So they open door to continue to, ferry them out of the hand of development or anything developmental. Because you can't have development if you don't have peace or security. So in that chaos, in that confusion, they now told all of us that whether we like it or not, there's nothing we can do about it. Do you see how the rat race works now? Catch 22. You'll just be going, somebody said it this afternoon, that Nigeria is in a loop. And this loop is because of these northern criminals who are enabling this terrorism. It's all for their own political control. Sure you get. So when they tell you that 100,000 repentant terrorists, 200,000 terrorists surrendered, how come the terrorism is not reducing? How come that the terrorism is actually escalating? Because they are not telling the rest of you the truth, Abi. Because they can't. Maybe if you do know the truth and you know the whole scheme around it, you will never want to be part of this contraption anymore, like me. And that's why you have to know before you become a victim too. So if they kill the leader of terrorists, leader of this, leader of that, just to make you believe that they've killed them, how come the terrorism is not reducing? Because it's all fluke, it is all business, it is an industry, and everybody is in on it. The real victims of all of this who have encountered these criminals came out and they said, listen, these criminals are not just attacking the villages and killing the people, they are chasing them out of their land, and they stay there, stay around to see if the people from that community will come back. And if they dare come back, they will attack them again until they will stop going back to their land and find somewhere else and never to come back. Somebody said this like about 4 years ago. And this evidence have been presented at several times, on several locations. But what did you get from it? Just, hey, is that true? Yes, it is. Take a look at these ones. These ones are those who kind of survived the several attacks of the Fulani terrorists. They have been kidnapped, they have been killed, their villages have been burned, their farms have been destroyed. And they've never really gotten any serious help from the government of Nigeria, who doesn't really give a shit if whatever goes on there anyway.
Of a truth, this community you are seeing is a very large community. After the local government headquarters, the next village, the next community is Ikobi, which you are in now. And because of the incessant attack on this community, all the villagers have run away, leaving very few persons now. As I'm talking to you, where you are now is the Central Primary School. We have 2 secondary schools, of which none is functioning because of the crisis. You can see, when you were coming, you can see how they burn houses. Yeah. And the village you pass through, nobody is there because of the attack. And this morning, as I was telling you, they attacked our boys who went to feed who carry food to give their sons and relatives to Boko. On their way coming back, they attacked them, injured one of them, and even went away with their bike. And thank God that on your way coming, you rescue some women at Onyapu, close to Ikobi. The attack, in short, started since January 17th. Okay. And up to now, they are still attacking us. And as I'm talking to you, you can witness my people. They say they are here now with a large number of cows and even large number of herdsmen. And we don't know their next target as I'm talking to you.
And that's how people live in all those areas, man. You will see politicians in their well-starched barbarigas. Sometimes they will be like wearing suits or wearing this and that, Guinea brocade and all that. And they will tell you they are working for those people. So the communities that realize that they are on their own, some of them just went on to go and make deals with the terrorists and promised to be paying taxes to them if they can allow them to remain in their communities and go to their farms. So they pay money to the terrorists before they can go and cultivate and plant and, then when it is time for them to harvest those cultivated lands, right, they will have to pay another money. And if they don't pay the money demanded by the terrorists, they better not go to those farms or they will be killed. We have evidence of all of that. That has happened. On that right now, in Nigeria, they have places they call ungoverned area. Supposed to sovereign country. Nigeria is supposed to be a sovereign country, Abi. Sovereign country means that independent country that anybody will want to take any tiny piece of land from Nigeria without Nigeria giving you the land from any part of Africa. Now, what you are looking for. That country has ungoverned area where terrorists from the Jalon, Sadness, Sorrow, and Sufferness have taken over. And those areas are now ungoverned area. Because Nigeria have no resources. Nigeria have no resources to cover them, to recover them. Nigeria have no resources to protect them. That's not even enough resources to protect those who are not in those danger zones. We are all on our own. And sometimes when people have to run far away, when they saw their loved ones being butchered, slaughtered, and they see their killers still roaming their communities, they run far away. This trauma is a trauma that a lot of people will carry for the rest of their lives, yeah? And to some, they far away as far enough from all these troubled areas who probably will be where I won't have to run through the forest again. Where do you think you can go that you can run through the forest when you are running away from the terrorists, from the Sharia North, invading your communities in the middle belt? Because Abuja itself is not safe. Maybe they're on top of the bridge in Lagos. And now they are also picking them up. Do not sleep on the bridge. They are clamping down on them. Let's stop by in Lagos quickly.
Oh yeah, àwọn máàtì wọn tó fi sùn yẹn ẹ kó àwọn ẹbí ẹ pálí yẹn ẹyà everything.
That is one of the bridges in Lagos where homeless people were cleared off from today in Lagos. It's pandemic of that too, homelessness, joblessness, hunger, poverty. You know, as they will say, there are homeless people in America too, of course. But that never used to be a thing. I don't know. I don't know if, you know, I don't know if I'm actually getting old or something. The only people you will see outside that will sleep outside or homeless are usually mad people, they will say. And now you say like, these are the usual people you will see sleep on the bridge, sleep inside uncompleted buildings, or the runaways, you know, the kids that run away from homes. Then you get to see them clinging onto the tip of the bridge like that in the middle of the night. But it is actually a thing that people are now embracing. And you have no idea what a pandemic it is. I just thought I should mention that because the people that are homeless there, or those of you who want to talk about those in America, is it most people who are homeless in America, they have one demon they are battling or fighting? Or some of them, it's not by choice, like they are choosing just to start with. All right. And then there are others that are actually like their own choosing. You see that this one that you have in Nigeria, I don't know how to describe it too. Because if to say you have a country and you have, I mean, if Nigeria was to be a real country, Nigeria and the people trapped in that contraption from everyone's, part of that Nigeria, you have the resources that could take care of you, no matter your population, no matter what have you, and you will still live a better life than what Nigeria is currently giving you. Homelessness, hunger, and all of that. Man, this shouldn't be something that is forced on you or you forced on yourselves by your choice of who or who are you standing and defending. Those ones who are doing everything to ensure that you remain in perpetuity of that poverty. And you embrace them because you probably don't see it that way. Those who keep giving you same thing again and again, on your part, you keep doing same thing again and again, and you are expecting a different result. So we believe that is a symptom of a madness, by the way. I'm just saying that there are some that are forced on you, and there are some of these things that you forced on yourself, ignorantly or selfishly. But nobody deserves to live like that in a place that is purportedly meant to be one of the richest places on the planet Earth until the calamity Nigeria happened to all of us. It can be corrected, though, if you kind of would know why we are where we are today. So there was this video I popped up. I mean, hang on. Currently, the people that destroyed Nigeria, the elite and the gang, they are now kind of embracing a national charity program. Because that is what is going on in Nigeria right now. National charity sort of program. The government is doing charity. The elites are doing charity. And everybody is now showing concern that this hunger is real. I'm so sorry about that noise. It's some drilling out there, baby. Okay. And I hope I'm not kind of sitting here and going to witness a plane crash out. Anyway, the elite, so I saw Dangote. Yeah, the quota system billionaire Dangote. He was in Kano a few days ago. The elite atoning for their sins by giving charity. Steal from them, make them poorer, and then please give them food. And you will see the grace of Allah. It works all the time, I believe. So Dangote, few days ago, about 4 days ago, in Kano. So Dangote has joined as Tinubu, and you will see the senators, you will see the reps, you see a lot of them with different bags, rice, indomie, noodles, and all of that. Okay. So in Kano, 2 days ago, Dangote gave them 120 bags, 120,000 bags of rice. That's the 10 kg rice. They've bagged the rice to 10 kg each, okay? So he gave them 120,000 bags in Kano. He gave them 80,000 bags in Lagos. Because it is the moment of atonement of sins.
Of a truth.
Let's go see Dangote. Hang on, where is Dangote? I had him here earlier, and somehow I have lost him. And I actually wanted to show you the Kano part. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Just a bit of a kind of a break. When I bring that back, right? Let's kind of take it as a break.
That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. That transmission, all classes, you know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name. I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please. Forget it.
Nuisance, Lele. So if Tinubu tell you to forget it, you are here now. masturbating in public. You want to defend Tinubu. Tinubu no say he no get choice. Now let's go to that Kano. That was where the charity started from. 120 bags, AIT reports.
At a time when many families are finding it difficult to feed due to the economic situation, this intervention to people with disability, the less privileged, and the most vulnerable groups is Aliko Dangote's contribution towards easing the pains. With 15 billion naira earmarked for the Dangote National Food Intervention Program for distribution across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Kano State is getting 120 bags out of the 1 million bags.
This initiative is part of our response to the current economic challenges facing our nation, and it is a testament to our commitment to supporting our communities in line with our core values. The allocation that will be given to Kano State, because of the large population and also level of poverty, we will give 120,000 bags.
Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf describes Dangote's gesture as an uncommon act of compassion that would be rewarded by Allah.
In fact, this act of kindness, especially in this holy month of Ramadan, exemplifies the spirit of unity, compassion, and support that we must foster in our communities, and especially during these challenging times. Let me seize the opportunity to call upon the distribution committees to ensure that the distribution is carried out with the utmost transparency, fairness, and without any bias.
I also urge other well-meaning individuals and corporate organizations to emulate these efforts to support this less privileged in our communities, because government cannot do it alone.
This intervention by Aliko Dangote is in addition to daily feeding of over 10,000 Muslims fasting across the state, aimed at alleviating the pains occasioned by the multiplier effects of the 2023 fuel subsidy removal by the president. Enemona or Chairman.
So that was a Kano, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody said, make them poor and give them food and see the blessing of Allah on you. Because the Allah who saw you stealing from them, and then the Allah is so happy that you come back and give them food and all of that stuff. And that's what they do in Nigeria, okay? It's so good out of giving. Oh, amazing. Economic saboteurs helping their victims to have some meal. At least a few days in a month. It is how Nigeria works, they will tell you. So back to Lagos. It is the same message as well. So somewhere boy in Lagos, right? He had to bring his pal. Let me see that. Yeah, this one is that of the Kano. So they went there with Dangote. Dangote no get farm. Dangote import is rice, the grains and all of that. He's the only person, or maybe with another guy, Bua. These are the only two people, the two people out in the entire country who are allowed to bring in rice, even though they have banned importation of rice. He's the only person who is allowed to bring that in. He will bag it and he will call it Dangote rice. It is only in Nigeria where they don't say Dangote don't get farm, but Dangote rice. Anybody who has farm and want to start all this same rice, this rice starts, you may have Dangote to contend with. It is what it is, and it's Nigeria. Okay, well, it's a good gesture. I mean, 15 billion naira national 1 million bag. See as they call and like say 1 million bag of rice. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 bags of that 1 million bag. Okay, you have 5 to get you 50 kg bag of rice, normal bag. So normal, if Dangote give 5 million bag of rice, that will amount to 1 million a bag of a real food, bag of rice. So this simply means that Dangote is sharing 200,000 bag of rice all over Nigeria, but they have divided them into 10 kg. Do you understand that? Oh, what an amazing billionaire. 250,000 bag of rice for 220 million people. Allah must be very kind. Yeah? So in Lagos, they had this, where they displayed the bag of rice for everyone. Otedola even came to present it. And there was somebody who said, Otedola, give me bag of rice. If I am the one in that guy, I'm going to go and frame the picture. If I was this guy, that collected bag of rice from Otedola, I will just go and put it on. I will go frame this picture. I will use this. I said that poverty only kure. Poverty to bank, but poverty, if you hear me wherever you did, only kure. The damages you have done, now only if you do Anyway, good gesture. Let us be grateful. At least let's be grateful. Somebody is doing this. We should not always be making everything politics. Okay? If you choose not to do it, which is true. And that is what Sanwo-Iku had to say as well. All of you rich people, be like Dangote now.
Taking the time to be part of this. As a country, as a state, globally, in fact, there's a lot of global disruption. There's a lot of challenges everywhere. You've seen videos of people shouting that there is a price increase in Canada. You've seen videos of a lot of challenges in the UK, in different parts of the world. So what we're saying is that we're not in need alone. We're not the only one that is in need to global disruption that we've seen. It's everywhere in the world. We've seen all of the issues in Gaza, in the Ukraine war. So it's a tough time to also be in a position of leadership. But for businesses to come and join government to be able to meet and rescue our citizens, I think it's actually very, very commendable. And so by the gesture, through the donation of 80,000
nuisance lele.
Ṣẹ́yìn gbọ́ Adé Gator, Adé Pointer, Governor Pointer and Kill, Sanwo-Iku, Dele Farotimi called him Orojide Sanwo-Iku. I saw a video this evening, and it was one interview of Dele Farotimi, and they're having a chat about the whole thing. And then people just scrubbed out where he called Sanwo-Iku. He called him Orojide Sanwo-Iku. Sanwo-Iku is telling his audience there that there is global crisis. There is Gaza. There is trouble everywhere. Government cannot do it. So yes, you should know, trouble everywhere. UK, America. You can see video. China. There's nothing true in all he said, though. But just so people will know that if you are hungry in Nigeria, that you cannot afford to pay for your own food or feed your family, there's no point in you being angry with the government. It's all over the world. People are hungry in the UK too. We cannot buy food here too. In America, you see, in Gaza, where they are fighting war, in Ukraine, is Nigeria fighting war now? Yeah? But it is what it is. That's how they carry their moguls in Nigeria. And there are those who believe them. They agree. They say, yeah, it's true. It is true. Even the UK. In UK, where you are, Mayegun, I remember when some idiots will come here and say, even Mayegun in the UK that you are, the economy is I say, but okay. If the economy in the UK is right? And that is why it justifies the economy of Kinekon in Nigeria. Hey, Baba, how come you have not returned back to that Nigeria? I asked somebody like that, and he just started fighting me. And the only question I ask, if you agree with the criminals that It is the same everywhere. Even you, Mayegun, you can confirm here. I live in the UK like you, Mayegun. We are all in this country. We know that inflation is 11% in the UK. So, are you not seeing people who are losing their job? Are you not shaking the corner? Say, yeah, I'm seeing them. Are you not hearing about the cost of living in the UK? All of us are, everything is expensive in the UK now. Everything, I said, okay. Right, you believe them then, right? How come you haven't returned back to that Nigeria? The economy is shaking in the UK. Olori Bukware lost your job. Council is paying your rent. And the same government is giving you stipend to say, okay, look, the same UK, collapse. They are there. They are funding your family, paying you allowances, paying for your gas, or putting on hold your, put your council tax on hold, ensuring that at least the homeless. Well, it is convenient. Now let's compare that with Nigeria. Now, sure, you know they see that in Nigeria is very like I just feel like, man, oh no, come on, stop your mouth with wolves. Oh, she padà sí Nigeria, man. Why it's Olori Buruku Eshe remain in America? Why do you stay in Canada as tough as Canada has become now? America is not easy. This Canada, it is if to say, I'm even planning to go back to Nigeria. Auntie, why are you still there? Because it's so convenient to live in Nigeria according to these criminals. So why are you still here? Because in the UK, at least in the recent time, the inflation just dropped to a single digit, Baba, 3% from 11%. Nigeria, they told Nigerians that inflation in Nigeria is 31.7%. I said, Abba, do you understand what 31.7% means? It simply means that, let's say I am buying this remote control or heater. I'm buying it for 100 naira. And the inflation don't happen now, 31.7%. What is 31% of 100 naira? Let's even say 40%. What is 40% of 100 naira? 40 naira. So that means this remote control is now going to cost how much? 140 naira because of inflation. Abi? There may be other factors, maybe 150 naira. That would be like 50%, Abi. You will know that this remote control is just 100 naira for God's sake. Why am I paying 150 for it? For 100 naira remote control. Inflation. But is that what you have in Nigeria? A liter of petroleum from 165 naira jump to 650 naira. She 37%. Sorry, she 31%. Is that 31% increase? Inflation. But they're going to tell you some economics jargons. Our economists, Oluwole economist, Oluwole accountant. You'll be reading their nonsense economy policy, and you'll be wondering, how come this one is not working for this? A bag of rice was 22,000 naira. Inflation, before inflation rise. But a bag of rice is now 85,000 naira. Say 31% in a year. That's more than that. That's why I will give you the inflation in Nigeria averagely at 400%. 400%. Even your currency lost over 270% of its value. Yeah, and that affects everything else. But they lie to you and they say, well, all over the world, people are also suffering. Because if you get choice to choose how you won't suffer, Baba, I'm not sure you will choose that Nigerian suffering. And that is why all these your Abrodian aunties and uncles on social media, they will never make the mistake, no matter how hard Canada is, no matter how tough UK is, no matter how hard and unbearable America become, no matter how many times they do this, all those the gun violence in America, they say shooting in America. No matter how many times they shoot in America, That is why those hypocrite auntie and uncles abroad, those ones that are making videos telling you that you should not listen to people who are telling you will soon be killed by the system that is put together to actually kill you. They are abroad. Then you will see some of them, they will be crying if they want to deport them. Those ones will not get papers. But they are abroad. Patriotic Nigerians from abroad. Oh yeah, take them to detention center. Oh yeah, you are going back to Nigeria. Please, they will kill me in Nigeria. My own village. Nobody won't kill them. Oh. Now the shege won't shege, and the shege will kill them. A lot of people will say, oh more, the shege in Nigeria won't finish me. Thank God, say I escape. Abi? But they will be telling you, don't mind them. Even in America, it's not easy. Even and you Okunuara. You are using the money you are supposed to kind of feed yourself with. You are buying data to go and listen to those people that are telling you to enjoy your chain, embrace it, because whatever you are going through, people are going through it all over the world too. You won't like to go through it in America too. Let's be honest. If everybody is going through hardship all over the world, it's not easy. They ask you that to choose between going through it in Lagos, I'll be going through it in New York. Which one will you choose? Be honest. I'm not talking to you, Jari, Auntie Koshi Segbe Jari. You are one of those who will never actually return to Nigeria. But you have everything to say, to advise all of them and say, whatever they are going through in Nigeria, other people are going. It's even worse abroad. Yet you no go leave that abroad. You have been there 35 years, 30 years. Auntie. Uncle, you have been in London for over 30 years. You can't go back. If they ask you when are you going back to Nigeria, well, I'm working on it. You are a champion on social media, telling the trapped, those ones that are already trapped here, telling them that it is the same all over the world. Now I'm asking you, Jare, brother, won't you like to go and what you pass through in Nigeria? If they ask you, say, oh yeah, we are all going through it. All of us are going through it. Yes. But if they ask you, say, go through it in Nunewi, I will go through it in Mannheim, in Germany. Make you go through it in Oshobo. I will go through it in Oslo. choose. Go through it in Lokoja. I will go through it in London. Which one will you choose? You won't prefer to go and go through it in London. Go through it in No. Those who tell you, like Sonweiku was pointing out there, is the same all over the world. They are lying to you. That's all I'm going to say. And when you become homeless, they will raid you just like this. In case if the rice, because it's not food, okay? It's not really a livelihood, all right? And if you are raided, they will parade you like this for the rest of us to see how many of you they raided sleeping on bridges and coming on social media with your chinko phones to shout out Omolodo there. When they display you like this, I will see the video and I will use your video to warn others who still think Nigeria is for them. Like I said, it is not about what I wish you. It is about what you wish yourselves. So when I want to pray for people, I say, my brother, apart from wishing you well, I feel they wish you well. May all of your actions or life decisions be waiting, they wish you well, if you end well. So what is the point in me saying I wish you well? When they wish yourself well by your actions or by your association. So what I say to people is that that's where I wish you what you wish yourself. Isn't that fair? I wish you what you wish yourself. So that you can then be the architect with the pen and paper and you can draw how your destiny is going to be. I wish you what you wish yourself. But in everything we do, I will keep reminding you, in every situation, let us always be very thankful. I saw some guys that in appreciating the gesture of the Kwara State government to the student of Kwara State University, Abina Kwara Poly, when the state government, in the face of this hardship, they can't be like Dangote. And of course, they cannot be like Tinubu. So the Kwara State government gave this student noodles. And here is their video of thanks. I've been a vote of thanks. Guys.
We want to use this opportunity and this medium to thank Kwara State government and Unilorin at large for giving us these 4 palliative for each student. At least these 4 palliative will serve us for 4 years. 2024, 2025, 2020, 2027. Kwara State government, thank you. Unilorin at large, thank you. Say cheese. Cheese. We want to use this opportunity and this medium to thank Kwara State government and Unilorin at large for giving us these 4 palliative for each student. At least these 4 palliative will serve us for 4 years. 2024, 2025, 2020, 2027. Kwara State government, thank you. Unilorin at large, thank you. Say cheese. Cheese.
Cheese. I mean, act of you need to learn the act of thankfulness, as in being grateful, being gracious. So there is better. Well, I want to quickly brief something on this Labour Party's imbroglio and how much the Obidients have chosen to distance themselves from this whole scandal, and I respect them for that. But for clarity, you see, the scandal that is already enveloping the Labour Party seems to be something that is even deeper than before Peter Obi joined them. And to some, it's like these guys took advantage of Peter Obi and the Obedient wave to actually rob all of them. They felt cheated. And since then, the scandal has kind of transformed into other things, where the NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress, they had to picket the headquarters of Labour Party in the protest that Abure had to go. Abure must go. Abure must resign, blah, 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 like that. So we later discovered that the fire that is consuming, the recent fire that is actually consuming or flaming the scandal started from Edo State, where accusation and counter-accusation of briberies. Delegates, Labour Party delegates, right, were bribed and paid dollars, $1,500 or something before they could vote for a candidate. This kind of sharp plenty. It led to a court case. From there, they heard that Abure was going to conduct another convention for national convention where they would choose their party leaders. And at this point, a section of DIA said he was acting alone. Like he wasn't even listening to anybody anymore. Not even to Obi himself, not to Alex Otti, their only governor, the Obi, their presidential candidates, and not even to any of their elected reps and senators. And this sort of put Abure in a very, very bad light. But to make it worse, they said Alex Otti had to pull out because he was told, don't do convention now. Okay, let everybody who is kind of not happy with this or that, or investigation about financial this or that, let everything be kind of sort of sorted. But Abure won't have none of that. So one man show is called, and his own group. So they approached Alex Otti in Abia to sponsor the Labour Party National Convention in the States. And he agreed. When the scandal sort of snowballed into something else where other things came out, he pulled out. And he advised Abure and his crew that, isn't it like ideal for you to kind of hang on now? Because this is not going to be a convention that you can say brings all of us together. And it could have been an opportunity for Obidients to really join Labour Party proper. And this is true. Obidients are not members of Labour Party, but there are Obidients that have been compelled that, listen, you cannot be doing zobu, this or that. We no go agree or we no go agree. Behind one person, you need to take the structure of that party and let it reflect who you are. Because when it comes to political parties in Nigeria, and a business center, and that your wave was so strong that they couldn't hit you up before the election, she's something that you have to bank on. You have to join them. You have to this or that. So this convention would have been a chance for them to be part of Labour Party, and you can begin to hold them responsible with Labour Party. So, and that's why today Obidients will tell you we are not Labour, we are not Labour Party, because they are not. But in fairness, there are some of them who wanted to be part of the Labour Party structure. They want to be part of it all over the place to actually have a true reflection of the young people and their aspiration. But Nigeria is Nigeria, Abure is Abure, and a lot of them are so disappointed that Abure no send anybody, he no send all of them. So if Alex Otti wasn't going to do it, that's fine. The convention will hold, okay? And it will hold wherever we are allowed to have it. Strictly, it is Soludo. I'm not going to say Soludo is involved, though. Don't get me wrong. But from what we gathered, Soludo's special advisor, two of them were those who actually told Abure, if Anambra is not a big deal, you can come here, we'll get you an hotel. So a national convention that could have been a show of what the consolidation of what Labour Party has managed to achieve from obscurity, from nothing to national threats. They could have consolidated that and show it to everybody, where all of their candidates in elections, all of their reps, everybody will come together and they will elect party executives. But no. Obidients are not going to take over our party. We love Obi, we want Obi, but no Obidients. So this kind of divisions has now left Abure fighting for credibility. Hang on. So they went to court, but court couldn't stop him. The convention was finally held at a hotel in Anambra. And Abure has been announced as the returned chairman of Labour Party. So it will now take a court order, be another court wahala to either remove him or not remove him. So it's going to be a decision time for you, the Obidients. Una they learn their politics yet? Or you are still like, no, Obi is your party, Abi? It is a learning curve for a lot of you. Life is a teacher. The more you live, the more you learn. You will realize why a lot of us are never going to be interested in investing a tiny bit of our own time in any of those charades. But for your own sake, to arrive at that stage of your life too, go on and learn from their dirty, criminal, political enterprises. Here is their supposed national convention of Labour Party.
Organization of government and are promoting to subjective to social justice. Lastly, on behalf of the National Secretariat, we appreciate all our members and continued supporters for your support, commitment, and highly close program of Amakia. Wish the convention happy deliberation at the end of the day. Thank you.
National convention. It be like maybe PDP at the APC, they do convention, national convention. When they do, I'm inside one hotel. For Abakaliki. Anyway, I thought I should mention that, you know me, I'm not going to give you room to really enter them. Sure you get. I just want you to actually have an understanding of what is really going on there. Because if I go deeper and deeper further, I will be helping the Tinubu do what they pay people to do. Because if Labour Party is what will be the break on your Obidients movement and your A New Nigeria is Possible campaign, Call will pay anybody. to get them out of the way, and all of you out of the way. And I'm not going to be one of those that will do that. But I just want you to see what is really happening in there, so that you can't claim ignorance or go out there and be arguing it blindly. And they will say, I mean, you people, you are like APC too. You know, I think I have helped. To the people of Benue, we had this video earlier today, and sincerely speaking, I have not really been myself. Because I don't know, I just kept kind of imagining that if the resources of our land are used by us or for us, for our own development, and, you know, how great would that be, by the way? Or you have something that Africans can never do anywhere else. You have people who come from China, who come from some of these Asian, Arabian countries, who came from Europe, America, and all these places to exploit our people by stealing the resources in their land, creating havoc, insecurity in some places, and total environmental hazard in many others. And there is nothing that goes back to these communities. They are poor. But yet, these people have the audacity to actually carry out this kind of operations across Nigeria, and they just look like they are not happening. I'm going to show you again. Here.
This is what is happening in Benue. This is the level the Chinese people are raping our economy here in Kwande. And this is on daily basis. This happens on daily basis. What they are taking outside, nobody is aware yet. Because there's nobody to check what they are conveying out, what they are carrying out, and where they are selling it, and the value of what they are carrying. The entire state is just looking at these people and what they are doing. This is the level the Chinese people are raping our economy on daily basis. This is what they pick out of only Kwande local government on hourly basis. And nobody is looking at this. We don't even know the value of what they are carrying out of this place. We don't know the content of what they are carrying, because they did not allow anybody to take analysis of the natural resources they are taking out of Kwande local government. And this is so appalling. It's so alarming that they are doing this on daily basis, taking this to China on daily basis. This is what is happening in Benue. This is the Chinese people conveying mineral resources from Benue State, Kwande local government, down to Lagos, exporting this on daily basis. There are more than 30 to 40 trailers coming out of only Kwande local government on daily basis. This is what is happening, and the government needs to be aware, and we need to know the content of what they are carrying out of this place. This is so terrible. This is terrible. They have more than 20 trucks just this morning in Ediko market today, conveying this on daily basis out of this local government. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. I think Benue people who are enlightened are supposed to be aware of this, because what is happening here is beyond what you are seeing.
It's beyond what you are saying, is said. And there is government. They've got local government, they've got state government, and they also have federal government. You have all of these guys who are at Nigerian borders, the ports, and all these places. And you are just like, how did they even allow this to happen? Because of their greed and selfishness, immediate money, and all that, to the detriment of their own people. Even not, their own welfare, their safety. There are some of these areas where they have all this illegal mining going on. And I think I have been talking about these illegal miners and illegal minings across every part of Nigeria for years now. And every time I lay my hands on evidence, I present them and I replay them again and again and again, but nothing really. Probably it's just us allowing them to go and collect their share. Instead, if they are not aware, now they will be aware. Because none of this stops. None. And none will stop. is why the Nigeria states must be segmented, organized in a way that everybody can actually face their own destiny in their own countries. Now, if you really want to have yours also depleted and stolen like that, that would be you and you only. You won't have to blame anybody else. But right now, who do we actually turn to? We are on our own. Yes, we are. So this is meant to be our wrap-up for tonight. We were supposed to have a chat, okay, but I'm not going to bore you with that, okay? We're supposed to have a phone call and all that, but I'm going to skip that tonight. Yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah. So, but tomorrow, we should be having our People's Parliament tomorrow evening. So if you are up for it, I hope you look forward to that and get ready or prepared, okay? That will be tomorrow evening, the People's Parliament. Thanks to every one of us who's been here tonight, or this morning or afternoon. I am going to see you some other time. So until then, you should like and share the video if you haven't already. And then you have a wonderful night. Good night from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Mayegun dayari politico.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú Ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.